Yes, I definitely had a private stateroom. It was on an iron railing up on the deck.
What island did you go to?
I went to, we landed at Guadalcanal. We got off, it was the 7 sad sacks. There were 7 Marines that was in the radar institute. We were radar operators.
What year was that?
This was I think 1943. I got off at New Caledonia. We stayed there for 5 days. We got back on the same ship, USS Kenmore. We went up to Guadalcanal. From Guadalcanal, I went to New Georgia. From New Georgia, I went up to Guam. And I came home from Guam and went into further training, which was the Scouts Corps. I was like a scout, supposedly in the Marine Corps, and I didn't know one end of the island from another end of the island. Where was
the bearded
I remember one of the scouts. We were on one mission one night in North Carolina, and I found a bottle of whiskey, and that was the end of that night in the woods.
When did you stop drinking Schmidt?
I never drink Schmitz.
What happened then when you went back?
And I went back. I went into Okinawa, and that's where I was wounded.
How many days were you on Okinawa before you were wounded?
I guess we were on there about a month, and when we were supposed to, the war ended as far as the Japanese end of the island, and we were supposed to come home, but we had this typhoon, and we were holding this stupid tent up, and the rain was pouring, and we said, what the hell are we holding this thing up for? So we let it go, and it just drifted right off the hillside. We went through rice paddies till we finally came to one of these Quonset huts, and that's where we stayed. I was given the Purple Heart, which was really rain-soaked on Okinawa, and luckily I got it because I needed 80 points, and if I didn't have that 5 points, I wouldn't have made it. I would have had to go to China. I don't remember that. That's a lie. No, I was home. I had come home, and they wouldn't let me home for Christmas, so this other friend and I decided we'd go up to New York, and we had papers, and we went up to New York for, I guess, 3 weeks, and then we wound up back home and back in North Carolina, and I was court-martialed, and I had to plead insanity. on my previous good behavior, I was broken down to from sergeant to corporal. So I went from private up to sergeant, back down to corporal, and that's what I was discharged at.
Very good. Okay, now we're going to hear from Walter Langen, and his, he's going to give at least a portion of his memoirs. It's printable or?
Audible.
Audible.
I was born in 1924. I had 3 older sisters. Alice was so much older that she was almost not like a sister.